Right, so let's start from here. Sun Temple at Madeira. I think there are nine sun temples in India, out of which one is in Konark. And who built that? Sun Temple at Konark. I read it. So it was built by Narsimha Dev, one of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. And similarly, we had covered in the last lecture that Arikamedu is in Puducherry, which was an ancient Indian Roman trading facility, and Sisupalgarh is another fortified city in Odisha. And Konark Sun Temple was built by Narsimhadev the first of the Eastern Ganga dynasty. Then we read about Black Pagoda, that the term Black Pagoda was coined by Britishers because of the black top of this temple, that is Konark Sun Temple in Odisha. And in contrast to which, the Jagannath Temple was called as White Pagoda. Now, the Mahabalipuram temples were built between 7th and 8th century CE by the Palwas, and there is another sun temple of Modhera which was built during the Solankis dynasty by Bhimdev Bhimdev in 1206. And there are a total of 9 sun temples in India. You can Google them, and one of them is also located in Andhra Pradesh called Arsavali, which was built by the Kalinga dynasty. So that is in Andhra Pradesh, Arsavali Sun Temple. Now, Amarkantak Temple is one of the 12 Jyotirlings of Shiva. Again, one question could be asked, like just like I told you, there are 9 sun temples. You should know like where are 12 Jyotirlings situated in India. So we can ask Google. So where are 12 Jyotirlings in India? So we have Somnath, Mahakaleshwar, Omkareshwar, then Kedarnath, Bhimashankar. Now where is that? Bhimashankar is in Western Ghats. This temple is a fusion of nature and spirituality. And Vishwanath, so this is in Varanasi. Trimbakeshwar, located in Maharashtra. Vaidyanath, located in Jharkhand, that is a Jyotirling. Mallikarjun temple in Andhra Pradesh. And Grishneshwar temple, one of the lesser heard temples in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. And Nageshwar temple again in Dwarka, Gujarat. So I think there are 12 Jyotirlings, जिसमें से सोमनाथ, महाबलेश्वर, ओमकारेश्वर, केदारनाथ, भीमशंकर, विश्वनाथ, त्र्यंबकेश्वर, वैद्यनाथ. So Vaidyanath is in Jharkhand. Mallikarjun, Grishneshwar is in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and Nageshwar is in Dwarka. Now, each Jyotirling is considered a manifestation of the Supreme God in the form of Lord Shiva. They are also associated with specific planets and the energies of the 12 astrological signs. So you can read on that more, like which sun temple aligns with your sun sign. So anyways, moving on. Then Angkor Wat, this is located in Kampuchea or Cambodia. This was built by Suryavarman II, and it is built in Dravidian style, dedicated to Vishnu Lord. And don't confuse, the Shore Temple complex is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the Shore Temple complex, that is in Tamil Nadu. I already knew that. Then Lingaraj Temple, that is the tallest and the largest Nagar style temple in Odisha, and it is dedicated to Lord Shiva. So Lingaraj temple is the tallest and largest Nagar style temple in Odisha. The Gopuram's origin can be traced back to the early structures of Pallavas. So Gopuram की किनका आइडिया था? बेसिकली पालवास लेके आए थे गोपुरम का origin. Then out of the 7 Rath temples, mostly were built by Narsimha Marwan. 7 Rath temples जो हम बात करते हैं पालवास में, most of them were built by Narsimha Varman, and the smallest being the Draupadi temple, while Dharmaraj temple is the largest Rath temple, while the Meenakshi temple was made by the Pandyas. Pandyas की capital कोरकाई में थी. Now the biggest Jain temple of Sonagiri is located in Datia, Madhya Pradesh. So this is again one of the lesser known facts, that the biggest Jain temple in India is located in Datia, and it is known by the name Sonagiri temple, while the Takshila University is located between the rivers Indus and Jhelum. Again, the rivers are important here. The temples in Panchayatan style. Now this is important because we usually see 90% of the temples are built in either Nagar or Dravidian or the fusion of both. But here we read about some Panchayatan styled temples like Brahmeshwar, Lingaraj. Like I just read that Lingaraj temple in Bhubaneswar was the tallest temple in Odisha. However, it was written Nagar over here, and here I am seeing that Lingaraj is written in the Panchayatan style. So okay, a temple can have different sections, each of which might represent a different style of architecture. For example, a temple complex, all in all, may have different areas, different corners, different mandapams. So each of which might be built in different style. So, however, the Nagar style tallest temple in Odisha is Lingaraj temple, but Lingaraj temple also comes into the list when we see Panchayatan style. Then Brahmeshwar temple is also there. The very famous Dashavtar temple in the Deoghar in Uttar Pradesh, and Kandariya Mahadev temple of the Khajuraho group of temples in Madhya Pradesh, they are also examples of Panchayatan temple. So यहाँ पे दो एग्जाम्पल्स बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं पंचयातन स्टाइल के, कर सकते हैं तो 3 कर लें, लिंगराज टेम्पल ऑफ भुवनेश्वर और कांदरिया महादेव टेम्पल और दशावतार टेम्पल एट दियोगढ़. नाउ चोलाज डायनेस्टीज, उनके फाउंडर थे विजय अलाया, एंड दैट वाज फाउंडेड इन 848 CE. The very famous Brihadeshwar temple is Dravidian styled, and it was built by Raja Raja I, and it is considered as the biggest and tallest. And there's a gigantic monolithic bull, which is Nandi, which is installed in the exterior complex of the Brihadeshwar temple. Okay, so Brihadeshwar temple, पहले तो ये याद रखना है कि बृहदेश्वर टेम्पल कौन बनवाया था. So it was Raja Raj the First, and who belonged to the Chola dynasty, and Chola dynasty was founded by Vijayalaya in 848 CE. Also, that there's a gigantic Nandi monolithic placed in the exterior complex, which is very tall. Then Cholas lived between the banks of river Tungbhadra and Krishna. So this is also very important. I just read that between Indus and Jhelum, there lied a very famous Takshila University between Indus and Jhelum. Similarly, between Tungbhadra and Krishna, the Cholas the majority of the Chola Empire existed between these two rivers, Tungbhadra and Krishna. It included the Coromandel coast and some Deccan parts, and surprisingly there were 3 capitals of the Cholas. So we had Tanjore, then Gangaikonda Cholapuram, and then Urayur during the Sangam period. So during the Sangam period, okay, now the Cholas during the Sangam period are different, and the imperial Cholas that was founded by Vijayalaya in 848 CE, that is considered as a sort of a rebirth of Chola dynasty later on. So during the Sangam age, I think there were 3 capitals of the Cholas: Tanjore, Urayur, as well as Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Now, a special feature of the Chola administration was the autonomy of the village administration under various working committees, independent from the center, as evident from the Uttarameru inscription. So this inscription is very important as far as Chola administration is concerned. Uttarameru inscription, it tells how the village were were administered through autonomous independent village committees, which were independent from the center, and these working committees were called as Varyam. Another important point, another feature of Chola king was that they declared their next hire during their tenure. Okay, so the name of these working committees was Varyam and Thota Varyam. What about that? What is that? Thota Varyam, I think that's the name of the committee that looked into the horticulture. Then Samvatsara Varyam, that is the annual committee, and Eri Varyam, that's the name of the village committee that looks into the lakes, and Pan or Pan Varyam, that's the committee that looked into the gold or finance. So these are the different village committees. So I'll tell them once again. The Pan Varyam actually looked into the gold and finance. Eri Varyam looked into lakes or wetlands, you can say, and Samvatsara committee that looked into the annual, like तो annual committee को संवत्सरा बोल रहे थे. Then Thota Varyam, THOTTA, that looked into the horticulture. Now there are 2 battles very famous during the Chola period. एक है Battle of Vellala और एक है Battle of Takolam. So Battle of Vellala was fought between the Chola Prantak I ruler and the Rashtrakoot king. Now Prantak also defeated King Madura and adopted the title of Madura Konda. So question ये आ सकता है कि Madura Konda title किस Chola राजा ने अपनाया था. So that was Prantak I of the Chola dynasty. And now Rajaraj I and Rajendra I sent successful expedition against the Shailendra dynasty of the Southeast Asian kingdom. another battle between son of Prantak, that is Raj Aditya versus Rashtrakoot. So this struggle continues between the Cholas and the Rashtrakuts. However, the kings are now different. Now instead of Prantak 1, it's Prantak's son versus Rashtrakoot, and now this battle is called the Battle of Takulam, that occurred in 949 CE. So the name of Prantak's son was Rajaditya. Rajaditya Chola lost here and died. So these were the two battles between Rashtrakoot and Cholas. Now many bronze icons and Nataraj figures were evident during Cholas. So Nataraj, the famous Nataraj figure that you see made of bronze, that was built during the Chola age. Then Dakshin Murti, idol of Shiva, depicts him as a mentor. Dakshin Murti, idol of Shiva. I want to look like, how does it look like? So the Cholas sent goodwill mission to China by sending 72 traders under the reign of Kolutunga in 1077. Now Kolutunga is also one of the later Chola rulers, one of the lesser known Chola rulers. So during his reign, there were 72 traders who were sent to China as a goodwill mission, as a part of their goodwill mission. And Kolutunga one gave freedom back to Ceylon. Okay, so this might be another question important. Kolutunga से दो facts important है, so I will just mark that with a different color. So Kolutunga gave freedom to Ceylon, and the other thing is that Kolutunga also sent 72 traders under his reign to China as a part of their goodwill mission. Then this Dakshin Murti, idol of Shiva, depicts him as a mentor. So I'd like to see that Dakshin Murti, idol of Shiva. So if you see, Dakshin Murti represents Shiva as a teacher of yoga, music and wisdom. Offering an exposition of Shastras, he is worshipped as the god of wisdom and meditation. Dakshina Murti sculpture on the southern entrance of the Meenakshi temple in Madurai. Okay, so this is located in the southern entrance of the Meenakshi temple in Madurai. Now, the Chola navy was at its peak during Rajendra Chola, and Bay of Bengal was the Chola's lake, but navy was first started by Rajaraj I. So it was started by Rajaraj I, but it reached prominence during Rajendra Chola. Now Rajendra first annexed the whole of Sri Lanka or Ceylon and adopted the title of Gangai Konda. Now Madura Konda was a different one. I think that was Prantak I. Okay, and Prantak I assumed the title of Madura Konda, whereas Rajendra I adopted the title of Gangai Konda, because he annexed the whole of Sri Lanka and adopted the title of Gangai Konda. Similarly, Chola Ganjam Ponneri, which was an artificial lake, was made by Rajendra Chola I in memory of his victory against northern rulers of Ganga Basin, Kalinga and Bengal kings. So that's again very important point. Now you might get confused here when अगर क्वेश्चन ऐसा आ जाएगा कि इंडिविजुअल चोला रूलर्स का नाम पूछेगा, तब दिक्कत हो जाएगी. बिकॉज यहाँ पे अब देखो कोलुटुंगा वाला बता रहे थे, तो सेलॉन को फ्री कर दिया और 72 ट्रेडर्स को भेजा था एज अ पार्ट ऑफ हिज गुडविल मिशन टू चाइना. देन देयर इज़ अ डिफरेंट रूलर कॉल्ड राज आदित्य, who was, I think, son of Prantak, who died fighting against Rashtrakuts. So I think that was the Battle of Takulam, 949 CE. Then there was another Prantak I who was involved in Battle of Velala against the Rashtrakoot, and Prantak I assumed the title of Madura Konda. Then there was another Chola king called Rajaraja the First, who was responsible for initially starting out the navies, but which reached prominence during Rajendra Chola. Then now Rajendra I is the one, I read it somewhere. Rajendra, where is that? Okay, so Rajendra I annexed the entire Sri Lanka or Ceylon, and then he adopted the title of Gangai Konda. So the very famous Gangai Konda title that goes with Rajendra the First. And there's this artificial lake called Chola Gangam Ponneri, which was made by Rajendra I, again Rajendra Chola, in memory of his victory against the northern rulers and Kalinga ruler. Then Eripatti during the Cholas referred to that portion of the land revenue that was set apart for the upkeep of water tanks. Okay, so that portion of land revenue that was set apart for the upkeep of the water tanks, so that was called as Eripatti. Whereas Taniyur's very large village as a single administrative unit, and Ghatikas, colleges generally attached to the temples. Right, so काफ़ी सारे कीवर्ड्स आ रहे हैं. जैसे हमने वरियम के बारे में पढ़ा, वरियम वाज द विलेज इंडिपेंडेंट कमिटीज़. देन देयर वर I think 4 or 5 different types of committees. Pun committee, that was gold or finance. Eri committee, that was referring to lakes and ponds. Then I think Samvatsara committee, that was the annual committee. And the Thota Variam committee, that referred to the horticulture. So all these were evident from the Uttaramerur inscription. Similarly, there are certain other keywords like Eripatti during the Cholas. It referred to that portion of the land revenue that was set aside for the upkeep of the water tanks. So it is evident now that the Chola administration laid special emphasis on the water management. Taniyurs, Taniyurs, Taniyurs. These were very large villages treated as single administrative units, and Ghatikas, these were the attached colleges within the temple complex. Now Tagara, another keyword. Tagara was an important trade route between Kalyan and Venji. So Kalyan and Venji के बीच एक बहुत ही famous trade route था, that was called as Tagara. Might want to have a look at that. Tagara trade route. Tagara was a significant trade center in ancient India that was part of the trade route connecting Kalyan and Venji. And Tagara was an ancient port of trade in India. The village of Tagara was part of the trade route that connected Kalyan in present-day Karnataka to Vengi in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. The specific locations and names of ancient trade centers may vary. Okay. So Tagara was like a trade route between Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. So Vengi was in Andhra Pradesh and Kalyan was in Karnataka. And between these two places, the famous trade route was called as Tagara. Now Pulkesin II, he ruled from 609 to 642 CE. Of the Chalukyan dynasty, and he finds mention in the Aihole inscription. So this tenure is very important, 609 to 642 CE, and Vatapi was the capital of the Chalukyas under Pulkesin. Now at the ending phrases of Aihole inscription, Ravi Kirti has mentioned Bharavi and Kalidas. Pulkesin II was the most able ruler of Chalukyas. Women were appointed to high administrative posts under the Chalukyas, so they were also sort of non-stereotype who used to appoint women to higher administrative posts. Now Ravi Kirti was the court writer of Pulkesin II, the Chalukyan ruler, 609 to 642 CE. Ravi Kirti also mentions in his very famous Aihole inscription about Bharavi as well as Kalidas, who were ancient scholars, writers. Then Tolkapiyar, which is one of the 12 disciples of the Saint Agastya, he wrote Tolkapiyam, which deals with grammar and poetry and is written in the formulae style. Now, like I told you in yesterday's lecture, Leelavati, a book on mathematics, is written in poetic style by Bhaskara. And similarly, now here we see Tolkapiyam is written in a formulae style, so it might be quite cryptic to read. So Tolkapiyar was one of the 12 disciples of his guru Agastya, who wrote Tolkapiyam, which deals with grammar as well as poetry, but it is written in very formulae cryptic style. Now Shilpadikaram was written by Idango Adigal, the grandchild of Karaikal. It was the love story between Kannagi and Kovalan. So this might also be asked. Shilpadikaram is a tale of these two people, Kannagi and Kovalan and Kannagi, and it was written by Idago Adigal, who is a grandchild of Karaikal. Now Thirukural, that's a book on philosophy, and then Mani Meghalai, that's another story about a merchant. Now Arikamedu, I already told you, it is in Pondicherry. It was an ancient port site and a trading facility between India and Rome. So it was mentioned in Podyuk in Periplus. So Periplus of Erythraean Sea was a famous book. It was referred to as Podyuk in this book, Periplus of Erythraean Sea. Arikamedu as a very important trading port in Puducherry. Now also referred to as a true Roman city by Dubril, as it flourished with Roman settlements. So चूँकि अरिकामेडू में इंडो रोमन ट्रेडिंग फैसिलिटी ट्रेडिंग पोर्ट था, तो ऑफ कोर्स वहाँ पे ट्रू रोमन सिटी के दृश्य दिखने को मिलते थे. सो दिस वाज मेड एविडेंट बाय राइटिंग्स बाय डुब्रिल. ठीक है. सो ओके, थिरुकुरल. नाउ the thing is that I don't know the author of Thirukural and don't know the author of Mani Meghalai. So amphora jar in southern Indian history referred to the tall double-handled jar, and Tamil text Thirukural written by Thiruvalluvar is regarded as the Laghu Ved, It is regarded as Laghu Ved. Also, Tamil version of Ramayana was written by Kamban. So, Tamil version of Ramayana was written by Kamban. Now, इसमें confusion मत रखना, ठीक है? Tamil version of Ramayana was written by Kamban. Okay, so you can see there are like the pronunciation of Ramayana and Kamban includes two similar characters, am. राम में ए एम आ रहा है और कंबन में भी के ए एम आ रहा है एंड तमिल में भी ए एम आ रहा है. सो एक लिंक बना लो दैट तमिल रामायण कंबन, ठीक है. नाउ थिरुकुरल was written by Thiruvalluvar. Thirukural was written by Thiruvalluvar and is regarded as the Laghu Ved. Then during the Sangam period, various trade unions existed in South India like Manigramam, Nandesi and Valanjiyar. Social reformist group in Tamil regions, ये लिंगायत और सिद्धाज, ये कम्युनिटीज़ हैं जो सोशल रिफॉर्मिस्ट कम्युनिटीज़ हैं तमिल रीजन में, ठीक है. नाउ खैजान उल फुतूह, दिस इज़ खैजान उल फुतूह written by Khosrow mentions defeat of Cholas by Alauddin General Malik Kafur. Is it Khazan ul Futuh or Faizan ul Futuh? I'll just confirm that. So Khazan ul Futuh was written by Amir Khusro and okay, then it is clear. Khazan ul Futuh, ठीक है, the treasures of victory. So it is not Futuh, it is Fatah. Khazan ul Fatah. So this book is written by Khusro and it mentions the victories of Alauddin's Malik Kafur against the southern kingdoms like Cholas. So this is one of the lesser known facts. I'll mark that differently. Now Manigramam, Nandesi and Valanjiyar, these were the trading guilds, trade unions sort of, and socio-reformist communities also existed in the Tamil regions like Lingayat and Siddhas. Now Urayur, apart from being the early capital of Cholas, was an important cotton trading center as mentioned in the Periplus. Now अभी देखो पेरिप्लस ने दो चीज़ें बता दी हैं. पेरिप्लस में द पोर्ट अरिकामेडू ऑफ पुडुचेरी हैज़ बिन मेंशन्ड इन द पेरिप्लस बट इट वाज मेंशन्ड बाय अ डिफरेंट नेम कॉल्ड पोड्यूक, PODUKE. And the other fact that you can derive from this book Periplus, which was written by a foreigner, is that Urayur, the ancient capital of Chola, was a good cotton trading center. So Urayur lies on the banks of Kaveri. However, सबसे पहले हमने यहाँ पढ़ा था कि Cholas lived between two rivers, that is Krishna and Tungbhadra. तो कृष्णा एंड तुंगभद्रा के बीच कहाँ क्या देखा था? हाँ, Cholas lived between the banks of rivers Tungbhadra and Krishna. The other thing was this famous trade route, I think, between Kalyani and Vanji, that was called as Tagara trade route. And then Arikamedu, Laghuved, Thirukural, Amphora, then Manigramam, Nandesi, Valanjiyar, Trade Union, Lingayat, Siddhas, Khazanul Fatah by Amir Khusro, Urayur being the ancient Chola capital and a good cotton trading center mentioned in the Periplus, which lies on the banks of Kaveri river. Now Vengi was the lifeline river of Pandyan Empire. So Vengi also happens to be the name of a river which was very important for the Pandyan Empire. Popular ports on the west coast were Nara, Nelisanda, Tondi and Muziri. So everyone knows the name of these two ports, Tondi, Muziri, Tondi, but you should also know a couple of more. So Puhar was another port, but that was I think on Puhar and Korkai, these were on the eastern side, on the eastern, that is Coromandel coast side, but there were greater number of ports on the western Ghats. So Nelisanda, Muziri, Tondi, Nelisanda, Nara, Lenisanda, Tondi, Muziri, or Nara, Nelisanda, Muziri, Tondi, these were the ports on the western Ghats, whereas Puhar and Korkai, these were on the eastern Ghats. Then Kon, Ko and Mannan, Mannan, Kon, Ko, Mannan. So these were the terms used to refer to the kings of Sangam age, and first Sangam held at Madurai, and the second at Kabadpuram, and third at Madurai again, where Nakrikar presided in the third Madurai Sangam. Now the first Sangam was held in Madurai, the second at Kabadpuram, and the third at Madurai. The third was presided by Nakrikar. So I need to know like who presided the first and the second Sangam. So the ancient Tamil Siddhar Agastya is traditionally believed to have chaired the first Tamil Sangam in Madurai. This period is known as the Sangam period. The three chief Tamil kingdoms of this period were the Cheras, Cholas and the Pandyas. So जो पहला अगस्त्य था, the first and the second Sangam meetings were presided over by Agastya and Tolkapiya respectively. So if we see that, actually, okay, Agastya along with Tolkappiyar. Okay, so we can write that like Kon ko Mannan. So ये तो kings of the Sangam age. Then the first Sangam held at Madurai. So I think first में it was Agastya presided. Second में Tolkappiyar, or third. Okay, now it is clear. All the three different Sangams were presided by whom and where did it take place. So third take place at Madurai. The first one also in Madurai, and the second one was in Kabatpuram. Then Matwalin, he was a Chinese traveler who told about Indo-China relationship during the Chalukyas regime. Amongst all three, Pandyas ruled the Tamil region for the longest duration. So that is also very important fact, because in Delhi Sultanate, Tughlaqs ruled for the longest duration, and in Sangam kingdom or the Sangam age, it was the Pandyas who ruled Tamil region for the longest duration. Matwalin was the Chinese traveler, and he gave accounts of Indo-China relationship during the Chalukyan regime. Then Indo-Greeks introduced gold coins first. Indo-Greeks introduced gold coins for the very first time in India, but they became more in Kushanas along with maximum copper coins. Also, Strato II, an Indo-Greek king, first introduced lead coins. So Strato II introduced lead coins. बाकी तो हमको पता है कि Indo-Greek introduced the first gold coins, and कुशान्स के समय उन gold coins की संख्या सबसे ज़्यादा हो गई. Alright. Then the earliest specimen of Kavya style discovery was made on Junagadh inscription. Brahmi script and Sanskrit language. Other rulers associated. Junagadh inscription, मौर्य ने जो सुदर्शन लेक बनवाया था, अशोका के बारे में मेंशन है. रुद्रदामन और स्कंद गुप्त के भी बारे में यहाँ मेंशन है. तो there's a mnemonic like Junagadh Kavya style inscription talks about MARS, that is Mauryas, Ashoka, and Rudradaman and Skandgupta. ठीक है. Okay. Then now Vikram era started in 57 CE and Saka era started in 78 CE. Also, Kushan ruler Kanishk was coronated in 78 CE, and 3 years later he issued a Buddha image inscription at Sarnath in 81 CE. So Saka calendar started with month Chaitra as the first month, which corresponds to 21st of March. So the first month of Saka calendar, that was started by Kushan ruler Kanishk. उसका पहला महीना है चैत्र, that is 21st of March को start होता है. ठीक है. तो और 21st of March को start होता है. Saka era 78 CE, जबकि minor difference is that Saka era actually बाद में हो रहा है. The difference between them is actually 78 plus 57, that is 85 and then 135. Okay, 135 years. And Vikram era started in 57 BCE, and Saka era started 78 CE. It was started by Kanishk. Also 3 साल बाद ये इन्होंने सारनाथ में कोई बुद्धा की इमेज इंस्क्रिप्शन बनवा दी थी 81 CE में. अब ये अश्वघोष से हम अगले लेक्चर में देखते हैं.